What's cracking? What's rolling YouTube? It's your Loke Phantom Loke, aka Silk the Lokester, and this is Keeping It 3100. Let's get this shit over with.
I see you folks clicking up, looking like you tough, acting like you banging now, nigga. Walk around with that flag out your pocket until the real come and ask what you claiming now, nigga. 1, 2, 3, oh shots from a loose cannon and it's blazing through your torso, nigga. 1, 2, 3, oh shots from a loose cannon and it's blazing through your doors now, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, that Loke is back. Come to your section, them shells rat-a-tat-tat. Cause what you banging, what you claim, you know what's up. If a person got that dagger exposing your fucking guts. Yeah, that blue been in me. Free my big cousin, cuz like me. Our gang's different, but we both bleed blue. Heart pump no Kool-Aid, them shots come through. I stay true blue, been true to that blue. Been true to the cause, so what about you?
We just want to get right into it. So, an interview came out about Bobby Shmurda saying he's a retired Crip, right? And then other sources say he ain't a Crip no more. And he's talking about because he's 30 years old and he got bills. Now, how many times do I gotta say this shit? There is no such thing as dropping flags. You're only active or inactive, and in some cases retired. Now, when you say retired, that's understandable, but now there's other sources saying that he's not that no more. There's no such thing. Like I said, tell that to your enemies, and then tell that to your personal enemies that you made along the way by doing what you was doing. I don't know where these niggas are getting this thing from or whatever about dropping flags or shit. I don't know where that shit came from, but this is exactly the reason why I've always been familiar and in tune and can connect with the West Coast ways of this thing. The West Coast ways of cripping. Even though I'm from out of town and even though I'm from the other side of the country and all that, I've always been influenced and can connect with and understood the West Coast ways of cripping. I never understood the East Coast ways. I never understood that 6-point star shit. I never understood that 8-ball shit. I never understood the whale, this, that. I never understood none of that. Even though that might be New York lingo and all this other stuff, I never understood East Coast, New York, spread all over the Eastern Seaboard, ways of cripping. If it didn't come from the West, I stay out of it and I have nothing to do with it. I never understood it. I was never influenced by that way and style of cripping. The Cali ways, more simple, and it's authentic because that's where it came from, and that's the ways I've been influenced by because that's the way not just me, but my family, that's that too. That's how we conduct ourselves and all that. The West Coast ways, not the East Coast ways. So then this nigga talking about because he's 30 and he got bills to pay and this, that, and 30, he wants to focus on his music. Well, I'm 31. I got bills to pay too. You don't see me bitching and complaining. 2, I make music too. And on top of that, I do a little acting in there. I have a series called No Turning Back. So that's no excuse. So what the fuck is this nigga even talking about? This weird ass nigga Bobby Shmurda. When he first came out with that song and all that, I never even thought he was a Crip. I never knew he was a Crip. You know what I'm saying? The thing about him is, and in people in general, you could just tell because the aura that they give off and certain body language, this, that, and third and all that. You could tell that they something. You could tell that they a Crip or they a Blood or you know what I'm saying. But when it came to this nigga Bobby Shmurda, I never got none of them vibes from him ever. When he first came out, I never got any of them vibes from him. Okay, like to me, when I first saw him, I thought he was just another New York nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just a neutron that came up with a new dance and created this hitting song and all that. You know, I just thought it was that. I didn't know he was a Crip. I didn't get that vibe from him. But then it came out that he was a Crip and all that. So I mean, it is what it is. But I just never get that vibe from him. You know, and that's just goes to show you the difference between those that got it in them and those that don't. My personal opinion, he don't. Especially for saying some shit like that. That shit was never in him in the first place. Even if he did what, like, see, one thing that gets me is that niggas talk about all this jail stuff and all that means something. All right. It does, but at the same time, that does not make you harder or bigger than another dude and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna praise you because you got caught. Or, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, you get caught up in indictment and all this shit, that's one thing and all that. But if you bragging, talking about you been to jail, this, that, and third, prison, this, that, and third, and all this shit, like, okay, what does that even mean? If you get what I'm trying to say, like, does that mean anything? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like a bigger man now? You feel like a big dog now or something like that? Because you've been to the pen or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just never understood that. But all I know is this. With this nigga Bobby Shmurda, I never got that vibe from him that he was a loke or anything like that until either he or some source came out that he was and all that, you know what I'm saying? But that's just not in him. It never was. And a lot of homies say he was never a Crip inside in the first place. So I mean, because no Crip would ever say some shit like that. And if they did, it would definitely be like with some retired shit. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that have retired, you know, they actually put a lot of work in and all, and, you know, did their thing. The ones that I know that are retired was there from the start, or like a little bit after the start. You know what I'm saying? That knew the founders of their sets, or they were the founders of their sets and all that, you know? But this nigga Bobby Shmurda on some other shit. But yeah, I don't know if this is a trend or this is something new niggas is doing or whatever, but I'm gonna say is this: there is no such thing and all that shit. And y'all playing with fucking fire and ice when y'all be saying some dumb shit like that or whatever. Y'all playing with your life. Real shit. This is nothing to be played with. This is not something that you just pick up one day or whatever, and then next day you say, oh, you're not this and that no more and all that shit. It's not that. It's not the fucking West Side Story and all this. It's not that at all. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say, think about it real clear. Think about it all the way through before you make that decision and become official with this shit. And if you was just affiliated and all this shit before you make up your mind to become official with this shit, you better think about that shit all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Or even better yet, before you, if you was just a non-affiliate and you want to turn Crip or turn Blood or turn Folk, etc., etc., think about that shit before you make that decision, because this is not something that you can just say one day and the next day you don't want to do it no more. This is really a lifetime commitment. You know what I'm saying? So these niggas killing me with this shit for real is like it's ridiculous. For real. Some bullshit too. But that just means they're not keeping it 3100. Oh, and for those that keep on asking, what is 3100? Well, All I'm gonna say it has to do with the line that I'm pushing. That's all I can tell y'all. I'm not gonna give out all the information about that shit. If you don't know, you don't know. All I'm gonna say is this. It has to do with the line that I'm pushing. That's legit. Signed off. Connected. You know what I'm saying? Talk to my OG all the time. Giving me the gems and all that. In fact, it was him, you know, so that gave me the idea to do this podcast and stuff. Salute to the OGs, you know what I'm saying, back in the land and all that, the G homies, you know. And even the G homies in the local area. So with that being said, if your heart ain't in this shit, and if it's not you, don't get yourself in the mix of this shit. Cause there's no such thing as dropping. This shit does not stop until the casket drop. Now, if I was back in my place and all that, you would see that big blue flag right behind me and all that. But right now, I'm visiting family out of town and all that. So I would be going like this and all that, you know what I'm saying? If I had that blue flag right behind me. But yeah, this shit don't stop until the casket drop. And that goes for any Crip, Blood, Paru, Hoover, folk, people, Sereno, Norteño, Mars Salvatrucha, 18. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you could possibly think of, it don't stop. Confederacy, skinhead, etc., and all that. Whatever you could think of, whatever ideology and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whatever philosophy, it does not stop until the casket drop. So stop playing with this shit.
You don't know now what said I claim. I claim 3-0. You ask what I bang? I bang 3-0 with an A in the middle. Avenues, cuz, but I ain't with the riddles. Keeps it 3100, but people not like me. I see the weird shit going on repeatedly. But I'm a go-getter, I goes and gets. Never a lazy ass nigga ambitious with my bets. Cross the line, pay the debt. Even with your life, pay the debt. Gotta pay the toll, that's how life rolls. I seen too many plays solid, but they always fold. Had a beating heart, froze that shit cold. Don't give a fuck, I'm in that fucking mode. Seen one side, but now it's the other side. One slick mouth, that life of yours, bye bye.